I brought this amendment forward. I'd like to start off by putting some context to this. One question that might reasonably be asked is $100,000 adequate savings for us to consider? I would submit that the fact that 8 of us readily approved the change for the parking warrants, which netted $100,000 to next year's budget, is evidence enough of the fact that $100,000 is significant. And further, I would go and look at what we did last year, the fact that we added $100,000 in non-county tax money to the budget for the zoo, which seemed to generate considerable consternation, is further evidence that $100,000 is a significant amount of money that we should be looking to save. Looking at the area that we're looking to cut, again, to provide some context, we would still have over $100,000 to go to quality of life. If you look at the major recipients of these grants, one of the largest recipients, roughly 25% of the money, goes to the Allentown Art Museum. This is an organization in 2008 that received almost $300,000 from the county, that in 2009 received $6.3 million from the county, $50,000 out of the quality of life, and $6,250,000 in the pass-through grant from the state. So I would say that at least one of the major recipients of the money from the quality of life is, in my opinion, adequately funded. If we go through, the $100,000 reduction is roughly a 50% reduction, and I would submit that in a year where we have a $20 million gap between revenue and expenses, we have over 5,000 people in Lehigh County this year that have lost their employment, and have to make do with less, that we as a county have to look in certain areas that are certainly not key areas that we are responsible for, and say we need to make do with less. Again, we're talking about a 50% reduction. You go through some of the organizations, for example, I cannot believe that the Mock Turtle Marionette Theater can't get by with instead of $2,500, that they can't get by with $1,250. Or I can't believe that the Whitehall Historical Preservation Society can't get by with, instead of $2,000, $1,000. Again, $100,000 is a significant amount of money. We are not talking about depriving any of these organizations and reducing them to zero. We're asking them to get by with less, just like every other family is doing currently in Lehigh County.